me ask you something. Have you ever given someone the best version of yourself? Your time, your energy, your care, and somehow still ended up losing? Not because you did anything wrong, not because you weren't enough, but because the person receiving everything you had was never really holding it. There is a woman in Abuja, 29 years old, hourglass figure, warm eyes, the kind of person that makes any room feel more settled just by being in it. Her name is Ella. And for 5 years, everyone around her could see exactly what she was worth. Everyone, it seems, except the one person who needed to see it most. This is her story. Stay with me. Ella, 29 years old and living in Abuja. She had one of those faces that people remember. Soft brown skin, warm eyes, an hourglass hubro that her aunties called God's handwriting. But what made Ella stand out wasn't her looks. It was the way she carried herself. Calm, steady, put together without being loud about it. She wore simple things, modest Ankara dresses, small gold earrings, low heels, classic, people called her. She worked as a procurement officer in Wustu. Nothing glamorous, but she was sharp at her job and she knew it. She paid her own rent in Gwarimpa. She bought her own groceries. Every month, without fail, she sent money home to her mother in Anambra. Ella was not looking for a man to rescue her. She just wanted one who would stay. Life no balanso. His name was Rotimi Adeyemi. Everyone called him Roy. 35. Lagos-born, Abuja-based. He worked in telecoms, drove a clean Camry, and had the kind of quiet confidence that makes a room feel different when someone walks into it. He dressed well, spoke well, laughed easily. They met at a mutual friend's birthday dinner in 2019. Roy made a joke about the pepper soup being too safe, and Ella laughed real laughter, not the polite kind. He looked at her like she was interesting, not just pretty, interesting. He called the next day, and the day after that. Within 3 months, they were together. His friends loved Ella immediately, not only because she was beautiful, but because she was real. She didn't perform, she didn't try too hard, she just showed up fully, every time. The first time she visited Roy's apartment and cooked without being asked, his friend Segun sent a message in the group chat. "Bros, your wife has arrived." Everyone laughed. Roy showed her the message. Even Ella smiled. She thought it was sweet. She should have paid closer attention to the word they used. Wife. Not girlfriend. Not the one Roy is dating. Wife. Like the role was already assigned. Like it was her job to fill it. Like no one thought to ask if she'd been offered the position or just handed the duties. Life no balanso. Ella was homely in the truest sense of that word. She believed that love shows up in small physical ways. So when she was at Roy's place, she cleaned. Not because he asked, because she cared, and caring meant doing. She washed the place after dinner. She mopped the floors on weekends. She rearranged his kitchen so things made sense. She'd arrive on a Saturday morning with a full grocery bag, cook 3 different meals, pack them in containers and label each one. Roy would kiss her forehead and say, "Ella, you're too much." She believed that was a compliment. His family folded her in too. His mother in Ibadan would call and say, "Tell my daughter-in-law to send me her banga soup recipe." His sister messaged Ella directly when she needed help planning events, and Ella would give hours of her time, sometimes money too, because she had decided this was her family now. At every family gathering, uncle's birthday, cousin's naming ceremony, Christmas in Lagos, Ella was there. Up early, wrapper tied, in the kitchen with the older women, serving, washing, arranging. And here is the part that hurt, though she pushed it down every time it rose. The older women in Roy's family looked at her the way you look at someone useful, grateful for her presence, but not fully certain of her place. She wasn't sat at the table with the wives. She was in the kitchen doing wife work without the wife title. She told herself she was imagining it. She was not imagining it. Year 1 became year 2. Year 2 became year 3. She was 31 now, then 32. Her mother was asking gentle questions that weren't really gentle. Her friends were posting wedding pictures. She attended their ceremonies, smiled in the photos, and came home and told herself, "Roy is serious. He's just building. He'll propose when the time is right. The time was never right. There was always something. A business deal, a family matter, a property he was trying to close. You know I'm not going anywhere, Ella. I just need to sort a few things first. And she believed him, because 5 years of being called our wife felt like evidence. Because a man who lets you love him that deeply must love you back just as deeply, right? Wrong. There is a difference between a man who loves you and a man who loves what you do for him, and Ella, for 5 years, did not let herself see that difference.
It was a Tuesday in March. Ella was at her desk, eating rice from a takeaway pack, scrolling through her phone on lunch break. A message came in from Tunde, one of the friends who used to call her our wife. It was a wedding flyer, clean design, gold lettering, 2 names joined by an ampersand, Rotimi Adeyemi and Fumilayo Okafor, April 14th. Ella read it once, then again, then a third time. She put her phone face down on her desk, picked up her fork, put it back down, stood up, sat back down, and then quietly, silently, with people walking past her glass partition, she began to cry. The kind of crying where your face barely moves, where only your eyes give you away. Roy called that evening. She picked up. Ella. His voice was low, heavy. I need to explain. She didn't scream. She didn't break anything. She sat down on her kitchen floor with her back against the cabinet, and she said, "Go ahead." He told her about Fumilayo. 8 months. He said it started as nothing. He said he didn't plan it. He said he was sorry, but not the kind of sorry that offers anything back. And then he said the thing that would live inside her chest for a long time after. Ella, you deserve better than what I can give you. You are too good. I didn't want to hold you back. You deserve better. After 5 years, after the cooking and the cleaning and the family events and the labeled food containers and the midnight phone calls and the money sent to his mother and the weddings she attended alone while waiting for him to be ready, his reason was that she deserved better. Not, I was wrong. Not, I am sorry for wasting your time. A compliment, dressed up as a goodbye. She hung up. She did not call back.
Ella took a week off work. She went home to Anambra. She let her mother feed her and sit close and say nothing particularly useful. And somehow, that was exactly what she needed. She came back to Abuja different, not broken, quieter, like someone who had paid for an expensive lesson and was still processing the receipt. Roy's wedding happened in April. She didn't go, obviously, but she knew people who did. A few of them reached out afterward. "I'm so sorry, we had no idea it was serious with them." And she replied warmly, because she was Ella, and that is what she did. But she noticed the hesitation before they spoke. She knew who had known. She filed it away. The friends who used to call her our wife, Segun, Tunde, the whole group chat, they went quiet. No DMs to check on her, no calls. They flooded Roy's wedding photos with fire emojis and heart-eye reactions, and Ella simply did not exist in that chapter of the story anymore. She had been their wife when there was food to eat and clean plates waiting for them. The moment the food was gone, so was she. Life no balanso.
3 months later, Ella was at a suya spot in Gaki with her friend Ngozi. Ngozi had been married 2 years. She was the kind of friend who said true things without softening them into lies. She said, "Ella, I want to ask you something. Don't be offended." Ella said, "Ask." "When did Roy ever cook for you? Not take you out, not send you a gift. I mean, stand in a kitchen because you were tired, because he wanted to take care of you. When did that happen?" Ella opened her mouth, closed it. She sat there in that plastic chair with suya in front of her going cold, and she could not think of a single time. Not once. Not in 5 years. Ngozi didn't say anything else. She just picked up her food and chewed slowly and let the silence do its work. And in that silence, Ella finally let herself see what she had been avoiding for years. She had been so focused on proving she was wife material, she never stopped to ask whether Roy was husband material. She never asked if he was showing up for her the way she showed up for him.
She measured her love by what she gave. She never measured his by what he returned. The answer, honest and clear and painful, was that Roy had been comfortable. He had been warm, he had been present, but he had never been deliberate. He had let her pour herself into his life like water into a container that had no bottom. He accepted everything she offered and gave her just enough affection in return to keep her hoping. And when a woman who didn't iron his shirts came along, he chose her instead. Not because Ella wasn't enough, because Roy had never been serious about choosing in the first place.
Ella is 31 now, still in Gwarimpa, still in procurement, still sends money home, still makes the best jollof rice in whatever room she is in. She started therapy, not because she was falling apart, but because she wanted to understand herself. Her therapist said something in their third session that Ella wrote down and stuck to her bathroom mirror. Being a good woman is not the same as being a good investment for whoever happens to be nearby. She is dating again, slowly, differently. She still cooks when she visits someone. She still shows love with her hands, because that is who she is. And she is not going to shrink herself to protect someone else from their own inability to value her. But now she watches. She notices whether a person pours back into her. She pays attention to what people do, not what she says. She has started to believe that the right man will not need her to audition for the role of his wife. He will see her, really see her, and do the work. Roy and Fumilayo had a daughter in January. Ella saw the announcement on someone's story. She tapped through without slowing down. She wished them nothing bad. She just wished herself something better. And for the first time in a long time, she believed she would get it.
Some of Roy's old friends still run into Ella around Abuja, at the mall, at someone's event. They greet her warmly, sometimes awkwardly. None of them call her our wife anymore. That name was never hers to begin with. But Ella is still hers, fully, finally, unapologetically hers. And that, it turns out, is the only title that ever mattered. For every woman who served love with both hands and received excuses in return, you are never too much. You are simply in the wrong hands. The right ones will know how to hold you. Do well to subscribe and come back for more videos.